Oh my goodness. Dolphins fans, if I were still drinking, this would be alcohol. Oh yeah, definitely. Um, we got a lot to get into. I'm gonna go through. Basically, this is going to be a chance for anybody who wants to come in here and tell me how it is. Feel more than free to do that. I'll put the link in the comments for anybody who wants to jump in and tell me what they're thinking, how they're feeling. And I'm in a second here as I get going. We're going to get into this. And if you'll notice, I'm making a very concerted effort to not freak out. I'm sure at some point I'm going to raise my voice. It's going to happen because this is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So, 31-6 is the final score. Miami Dolphins lose and fall to 1-6 for the season. Ooh. Last year we started the season 2-6 and then finished 6-2. 6-3 actually. The point is this is worse. I know that it's has the chance to be 2-6 just like last year, and at that point some people are going to be like, well, what's the difference? It could be just the same. The Dolphins could go on a 6-2, 6-3 run at the end of the season to finish 8-9. They could. I mean, it's not going to happen. This is a 2-win football team is what we're probably looking at for the year. Two wins. That's it. Looking at the schedule, I don't see another win. The Jets are going to beat us for their one win for the year. We're looking at probably the number 1 or number 2 pick in the draft next year. The way this team has given up. They destructed themselves pretty good in that second half of football. There's a lot to talk about, a lot to cover. We'll just kind of ease into this. Not sure how long the stream's going to go. We'll just we'll feel it out and play it by ear. Me personally, I don't have a whole lot to say. I mean, I've spoken about all this already. I mean, it's not good. Now we're looking to it. Let's just start with the quarterback. Tua's regressed like badly this year. 100 yards passing, 12 of 23, and 3 picks. 3 picks again. That's it's unacceptable. Not good. When Dylan Gabriel outdoes you as a quarterback, that's bad. Dylan Gabriel was 13 of 18 for 116 yards. That's it. And like I mentioned in the live stream during the game, obviously there was some really bad calls by the referees in the beginning of that game. It's not the reason we lost the game. It's not. There was some bad calls, of course, and it resulted in points by the Browns, but 31-6. When our quarterback throws 3 interceptions, it's not you're not going to win that game. It's just not going to happen. This is horrible, start to finish, top to bottom. Coaching staff, players, owners, front office, it doesn't matter. No matter where you look, there's blame here. There's blame. Every player on that team, every coach, every member of the front office, everybody. Devon Achane, 13 carries for 82 yards. He left some yards out there. I'm really not blaming Devon Achane for this. I mean, that would be crazy. Quinshon Judkins had a good game, 25 carries, 84 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Not great for yards per carry, but 3 touchdowns for any running back in any situation, that's a good game. So when we look, let's see here. Total yards, 219 yards for Miami, 206 for Cleveland. This was a crawl of a game. Pardon me. 4 turnovers for Miami, including that 1 turnover on the kickoff. 0 for Cleveland. You lose a turnover battle 4-0, you're going to lose the game. It's just that simple. 11 penalties for 103 yards for Miami. You'd have 11 penalties for 103 yards. You're going to lose the game. And that's what happened. I'm just going through some of these stats because it's telling, this team sucked start to finish, top to bottom. This was a horrible game for the Miami Dolphins. Let's go over here. Tua's rating was a 24.1. Quinn Ewers came in 5 of 8, 53 yards, and a 81.8 rating. I really feel like if Quinn Ewers stayed in the game and was in the game longer, he probably would have done a lot better than Tua in this game. Overall, as a team, the Miami Dolphins had 99 yards rushing. That was probably the least of the bad spots for Miami, was the rushing game. Receiving, only 153 yards receiving total for the entire team. We talked about the fumbles. Defense, we only had 2 sacks. I mean, it's just everything was bad. Everything was bad. 4 sacks for the Browns against the Dolphins. No interceptions. That one by Rasul Douglas was called back on something that was probably not a penalty, but they called it, and it is what it is. It wouldn't have made a difference in this game anyway. This was just a horrible game, start to finish. Cleveland had 104 total yards rushing against Miami. Stat-wise, that's not as bad as they have done against the rush, but allowing 3 rushing touchdowns, it wasn't a good game for Miami's defense. The offense was horrible in this game for Miami, though. Is bad. Cap, you're right, man. It's bad. It's bad. And I'm like I said, I came on here. I just figured I'd jump on and kind of cover some of this stuff and talk about the problems, and things that are going on. And like I said, there's some things I'm not going to do. I'm not going to pick apart certain fans of certain parts of this fan base. I'm not going to say, well, these fans like this player, so they're stupid. And see, now I'm telling the truth. And now you guys all know that I was the one that was right. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. That's not how I roll. Yeah, Lakers, man. Good to see you in here. Thanks for coming in, brother. That's how you get blown out by the Browns right there. What you just saw. I mean, this is. I tell you what. In my brain, my little pea-sized brain, I look at this from two positions: what's going to happen and what should happen, right? And I tell you what should happen, and I'm going to go through this right now. I think this needs to be the first team in NFL history that needs to fire their head coach, their general manager, and their defensive coordinator all at once. That's what I think should happen. All of them should be gone right now. Nothing can be worse. Let's be real. It can't be worse. The only team we beat is the worst team in the NFL. So this should be the first team in NFL history to make those 3 firings all at once. Stephen Ross needs to come in and fire all 3 tonight. We should wake up tomorrow morning and find out that the Miami Dolphins have set a record in the NFL for being the first team in history to fire the general manager, the head coach, and the defensive coordinator all at once. That's what should happen. What's going to happen? Nothing. Nothing is going to happen. They're not going to fire the GM. They're not going to fire the head coach. They're not going to fire Anthony Weaver. They're not going to fire anyone. And I'll tell you why. Why do you say, why is it going to happen like that? Why is nothing going to happen? Why do you think they're not going to fire anybody? Because they haven't. Ever. Because they don't care. This team is perennially stuck in this repetitive motion of doing nothing. And as much as Stephen Ross wants fans to believe that status quo is not enough, status quo is enough for him. It's just the way it is. It's a sad truth. It really is. I really don't want to sit here and go through these stats because it's just so depressing. I can't look at these stats. I can't look at it. It's horrible. The one stat that I feel like was just totally unfair, and it definitely didn't help the Dolphins win the game, was the penalties. Especially when you consider 6 of those penalties were not penalties. And I will say that. I will be 100% honest and say that 6 of their 11 penalties weren't penalties. They were called as penalties, but they weren't. It was bad calls for a bunch of those. However, that is not the reasons the Dolphins lost this game. It was a help for sure, but there are so many other reasons the Dolphins lost this game. And you could place blame almost anywhere. Throw a dart. Have all the players line up and just cover your eyes and throw a dart into the open and see what happens. Wherever it sticks, there's blame. The few players that I wouldn't really blame, I mean, Achane had an all right game. A lot of people want to blame Achane for one of the 2 picks. It wasn't his fault. Achane's, he's 5'10". He was trying to get up there and grab a ball that was massively, lifted. He threw a ball way over Achane's head. Achane tried to get a hold of it so that it wouldn't get picked, slipped through his fingers. It's not Achane's fault. Tua had 3 horrible throws today that turned into interceptions. And he actually had more. Yeah. Dude, anybody who's in here, look at what AI Lakers just said. He looks like he doesn't even care. Tua looks like he doesn't even care. You're 100% right, brother. Tua does not look like he cares. He's not vested in it at all. And a little bit of a bonus here. I have refrained from watching the post-game interviews. I'm going to pull those up here in a minute. We're going to watch them together. And I'm kind of curious what they say because I know that McDaniel and Tua gave post-game pressers. And I'm sure there's more, but I'm really curious to see what Tua said and what McDaniel said. I would imagine McDaniel's going to be pretty pissed off sounding. In his weird way, but you could see him on the sideline. He was not happy. And I, in some ways I can identify with him, being a coach is hard sometimes, like I said, I was never a coach in the NFL, so I don't know what it's like in the NFL, but I know that being a coach of a football team and having a bad loss, sometimes that can really be rough, like not being able to get yourself involved, especially if you're an ex-player. It does make it hard. But I'm not making excuses here. The whole team was horrible. The entire coaching staff is crap. Nobody did what they should have done during the week, obviously. It's very clear that the week's preparation for this game was not there. No one was prepared for this. Nobody. Nobody was ready. It was an absolute, pardon my French, but it was a shit show. Tua definitely looks like he doesn't care. And you can't have that from a leader. Nobody cared. Everybody was just kind of putzing around. Him and Han. Which is sad because those first 2 possessions from the defense, they looked like they were actually trying. Making good tackles, gang tackling, maintaining lanes and gaps. They were in gap responsibility. They were doing what they were supposed to do. It was unfortunate during those first few possessions because that was when all of the penalties were going on where you're just like, how is that a penalty? How is that a penalty? What just happened? Why did they throw that flag? Where was the penalty on that one? There were so many penalties in the beginning of this game that shouldn't have been called. And it seemed like while the Dolphins were playing good defense, those penalties kept getting called, and it negated the good defense. Defense stayed on the field. They got beat down about it, and they gave up. They turned into pansies. Started out strong and just finished like crap. It's bad. Raph, it's good to have you in here, brother. What do you mean? What do you mean? You think the Dolphins are going to ride with Tua to get pick number 1? Oh, you think they're going to keep him? No, like I said, what do I think should happen and what will happen? I said nothing is going to happen. They're not firing anybody. They're not doing any of that. They're gonna keep everybody the way it is. I just said I would have liked to have seen, unless you're saying that you disagree with what I thought I would like to see. I'd like to see Ewers play, but I understand what you're saying. I think that there's a good chance we do end up with pick number 1, especially if we stick with Tua and don't make any changes. It's a good point, AI. Do you think that that's what they're wanting to do? Do you think what do you guys think? Do you think they're wanting to tank and they're just doing it quiet? I mean, most teams do keep it kind of quiet, but I mean, you can usually tell this has the identity of a team that's tanking. And if they're tanking, then they're not going to fire coaches. They're just trying to give them a better position. This has Greer's going to stay around written all over it, and it sucks. It could be. This is where those skeletons come out of the closet. But at this point, they're going to have to bite the bullet, you know? Yeah, Roth, you're right. You're right, Rafa. It's bad. 11 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. You're right, and the one lost fumble. Not good. And if you take that, you can make it even worse, Rafa. You can make it even worse if you count all the fumbles that he's dropped and recovered. I mean, he does it like once or twice a game. They're all quitting on each other. Let's be real. I mean, we got to put aside the like. Look, I'm not pro Tua, obviously, but they're not just quitting on Tua. They're all quitting on each other. There's no other way you could see what you've seen. They're quitting on everyone. Everyone is quitting on everyone. Let's be real there. I mean, we can't just place this on one player. We can't place this all on one person. It's everyone. This entire team is trash. Mike McDaniel's gonna say Tua has thumb injury and reason for. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I mean, guys, the point is this isn't good, dude. I tell you what, I'm going to Mexico. I'm taking 2 trips to Mexico this winter. I don't know if you know, D-Dub. I live in North Pole, Alaska, so I'm taking a couple vacations to Mexico this winter. One with my wife, and then one with my entire family. If I see any of them Dolphins down there, I'm throwing tomatoes at them. Throwing tomatoes. And when I go to Mexico, that over there, with the classic Dolphins emblem, that's actually a poncho. I'm going to take that with me. Oh, man. Oh, I'm always careful. Don't worry about that, brother. Don't worry about me. I'm a protector. We always stay safe. Let me get my headset on here. All right, let's see if we can get this added up. D-Dub, what's up, man?
First of all, I want to say thank you for the opportunity to speak to you. I saw a link or a comment in TD's live stream that you had a show. So whoever sent that text out, That's who you need to thank for increasing your subscribership. Because I did subscribe as well.
Thank you,
So
brother.
make sure you
Appreciate
tell
that.
them thank you.
Definitely. Thanks for
You
coming.
know, yeah, Now, did you actually say you were from the North Pole?
I'm from North Pole, Alaska. Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So if you run across Santa Claus in your comings and goings, please ask him to send the Miami Dolphins a new GM, a new coach, a new quarterback, and someone who can develop an offensive line within the next 7 to 8 months. Please, please, please tell Santa Claus to send those gifts to us.
My man, I will sit on his lap if that's what it takes.
Okay. My goodness. My goodness, man. Um, where instead of saying where do we begin, let's just say when can it end?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't seem like it's going to end. It seems as though we're going to be one of the teams to lose and go 1-16. I mean, this is very, very bad because you have teams that have some built-in excuses for uh, their situation.
Mm-hmm.
You have the Raiders, you got the Saints, you got the Jets that all have new coaches. So whatever they were going to accomplish this year, would have been icing on the cake. But if they didn't accomplish anything, it would have been chalked up to first year coach. Okay,
Right.
unless somebody, even Aaron Glenn, unless he does something criminal, which I doubt because he's an upstanding citizen. He's going to be there for another year. I know the New York press is hard. I'm from New York originally, but I think he's going to get another year. Unlike McDaniel, who's been there, 4 years now, and um, this this calamitous situation is it was foretold from even during preseason, even before preseason started, when you had players complaining about leadership, and then the coach and the quarterback was supposed to be focusing on leadership, and they have both failed miserably. Greer's failed miserably with his drafting and free agent signings for offensive line. And I know people are going to say, well, he's put resources towards the offensive line. Okay, well, guess what? He didn't manage those resources well enough.
Right.
Okay. All right. They had a semblance of a offensive line 2 years ago. They let players go to free agency and then re-sign Austin Jackson, which made no sense to me whatsoever. You got just everything. It's like it's 2018, 2019 all over again. And it's sad that there's been no progress. And you see teams that started their rebuild after the Dolphins did. You see the Patriots, you see Detroit, you see Houston, you see even Atlanta,
Mm-hmm.
you see Tampa Bay. They lost Tom Brady to retirement. Didn't miss a beat. They've won 3 division championships in a row, 3 or 4.
Oh, did we lose him? He was cooking. I don't know if D-Dub, I don't know if you can see us, but you froze up. He was cooking, man. I was enjoying listening to him speak. Let me see here. I'm not sure how to get him moving again. We'll give him a minute and see if he jumps back in. Yeah, guys, it's just not good. And what Dito was saying there. He's not wrong. And what I said in the beginning that lends to that is that we really we need to cut this free, all of it. It all needs to go. Oh, here we go.
Happen.
Yeah, you're back, brother. I got you.
Yeah. I'm waiting on. I mean, this is so bad that I don't know where it broke off at because I was just talking. But I'm waiting for Glenn Camarillo to come back on the field and score a touchdown for us. That's how bad it is right now.
Yep.
You know.
Corey Belfast says, one thing is for certain, all Finn fans are in the same boat. It sucks being a Dolphins fan right now. You're right, man. You're right.
I mean, the thing is, there are teams that have gone through the rebuilding process after the Dolphins started theirs, and they're in a way better situation than the Dolphins are right now. I mean, you look at Detroit. They didn't want to keep Dan Campbell. Guess what? Dan Campbell is leading his team to multiple double-digit wins seasons. Okay, they didn't want to keep Todd Bowles. He's won division championships in a row. I mean, come on, man. The upper management is making mistakes on so many critical frontline leadership positions, including Tua, including the coach, McDaniel, and including Greer. That's the reason why Miami Dolphin fans are suffering, because we gotta keep enduring bad managerial decisions.
Yep. It needs to start at the top. And in the beginning of the stream, I said that the Dolphins need to be the first team in history just to cut the head off the snake and fire Greer, fire McDaniel, probably let Weaver go, just start over. I mean, at this point, it's just not. There's no overreaction. It's not an overreaction anymore. Fans have had it. Blake, what's up, brother?
Are we watching Dayball and his two rookies shred another contender team?
I'm watching it. You know, I came outside for a quick second, but yeah, I was watching the New York Giants do a number on Bo Nix and Sean Payton. You know, a running back that I wanted the Dolphins to draft because the guy is a every down player. He can play first down, second down, third down. He can block, put a pass. He can run inside and he can run outside, and he can catch the ball.
Yep. Jorge, what's up, brother?
What's up, buddy? How's it going?
Tell me how you're feeling.
Man, embarrassed, dude.
Yep.
Embarrassed, disgraced, disrespectful, you name it.
Yep.
Terrible, man.
Blake's over here got the Unabomber look going on. How you feeling, Block A?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't expecting that. I did expect the loss. I didn't think it would be that bad. That was a disgrace. So I don't really have a whole lot to say. I mean, it's obvious to me now that it is a complete and total shit show wreck.
Oh, it might get worse, man.
Oh,
they got an international game to embarrass themselves with Atlanta, and I believe they got a game with the Ravens.
Yeah,
and they still got Buffalo.
Lamar comes back.
Yeah.
Yeah, D-Dub's right. He said that, you know, the problem is going to stay until we do something about management, and that's the problem. That's where it starts.
It's the upper management. That's the core of the problem, because they have been advising Stephen Ross to make these frontline leadership selections or decisions on frontline people. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. Some people don't agree. I think they should. I don't think they should have fired Flores, but that's an argument for another day.
Sure.
Okay, but all these head coaches that have come through the organization have gone on to bigger and better things that the Dolphins had an opportunity to either sign, i.e. Mike Tomlin, or keep, like Todd Bowles and Dan Campbell. And we stuck with Mighty Mouse.
You're right, man. And like I said, I may not agree about like I've made my stance on Flores pretty clear. Like I do think he's a fantastic coach. I think he's an amazing defensive coordinator. I feel like at the time when he was in Miami, it might not have been the best situation for him, given what Stephen Ross was wanting from the team when he was coaching. And I feel like that set everything up for a bunch of problems within the coaching staff, especially. But regardless, like you said, of what we did there, did we make anything better in the long run? Has anything gotten better since Brian Flores?
No, it's gotten softer. It's gotten softer and it's gotten chaotic, but it hasn't gotten better.
So now that we all pretty much agree that it's not really any better. If anything, it's gotten worse in a lot of ways. And even if we don't think Brian Flores should be the coach, they've made the wrong decisions to improve the team, period. Regardless of who they chose.
Yeah. And you can't keep doing the same thing. You can't expect somebody who's made so many mistakes in the past to suddenly the light bulb click on and they're going to start making good decisions. The salary cap is a mess. The quarterback position is a mess. The offensive line is a mess. They've re-signed people that are not going to be here when if they ever get good again. They're not going to be the same player they were. This is a total mess.
Mm-hmm.
And Tom Garfunkel, he needs to go.
Mm-hmm.
He needs to go. Whoever the assistant for Brian Flores, he needs to go too, because he's been whispering in Greer's ear to help make these decisions as well. So this just done, man. It's done. I'm thinking about painting my garage white just because I want to get rid of the stick. I got my garage painted in dolphin colors and got stuff all over the place. Man, this is just pissing me off.
And that's the big thing here is you've got, and I'm gonna give it to everybody straight here. The Miami Dolphins fan base is one of the largest fan bases in the NFL. It is. When you look at teams that travel, where there are fan bases for teams outside of the home state, Miami Dolphins fans are everywhere. I mean, I'm in North Pole, Alaska. We got people all over the country. Blake, you're in Texas, right?
No, I'm in Washington.
Oh, you're in Washington. That's right. I mean, so we're everywhere.
Yeah, I'm in South Carolina. I started my fandom in New York City.
See, there you go. We're everywhere. This is a huge fan base. And with all the stuff that's going on, the ultimate bottom line is that the fans of this storied franchise are being extremely disserviced. And that's the problem. And it's horrible.
I mean, you think about it, the Dolphins and the Raiders are in the same mode. And two storied franchises that won in the 70s, historic, made the NFL what it was and what it is, and they're just terrible right now. Pete Carroll, I give him he's a transitional head coach, because as soon as they draft a QB and get rid of Geno Smith, they'll be better. But
they drafted one last year in the 5th something round.
Yeah, but when you're drafting a quarterback in the 5th round, and then that's the kid O'Connell.
Miller, I think they got.
Yeah.
Well,
Miller,
nor Aiden O'Donnell are the answer. That's why they're looking for a 1st or 2nd round draft quarterback. They need somebody. They need somebody, but that's their problem. I'm not worried about them. I got to worry about the Dolphins. And the Dolphins need a new quarterback. They need they need 2 new members of the offensive line, if not 3. And they need some more help on the defensive line. I watched a little bit of the Carolina game today. I watched Derek Brown do work against the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I mean, you could have had him and then drafted Hurts or Love later on in that draft in the first round. I mean, you got to. Greer totally messed up, drafting injured players and expecting them to perform at their college level. And that's with Tua, and that's with Jalen Phillips as well.
And I with Tua, it's hard because I when we had the draft and we picked Tua, I was one of the ones that I wanted Herbert over Tua. I did. I'll admit it. But when we did get a hold of Tua, I was optimistic, and I supported him through those years with Flores, under Flores. I did, and I did not want us to give him that extension when they did that. I was against that. I wanted us to wait on that 5th year. And even before this season started, I said I was going to withhold my judgment on Tua until this season to see how he did. But after seeing the first 7 games of the season, I don't think he's the guy.
Did he throw 3 or 4 interceptions today?
3 interceptions.
Just remind me.
He threw 3. But,
3.
Does it make a difference, 3 or 4? It was still horrible, right?
Yeah, 4 turnovers, 1 fumble and 3 interceptions.
Yeah, 1 fumble. That was the other turnover there, D-Dub.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, you can't win in the NFL doing that.
Mm-mm.
And he's consistent. That's the one thing he's consistent with. He's consistent in 2 things. He's consistent with throwing interceptions this season with the number 3 attached to that number in that column.
Yeah.
And he's consistent in throwing interceptions when it's game time. When the things are on the line, he is going to fold. 90% of the time, he's going to fold. And even when he doesn't, then you got the issues with the defense. But they've overspent money on the offense, and they expect the defense to be Super Bowl caliber when they've only spent 4th round money on the defense, really.
Mm-hmm.
Did anybody heard Tua's press conference today?
I'm about to plug those in.
Oh, you're about to laugh.
We're gonna give a listen. Yeah, that's the next
Tua
thing
says,
on this.
Yeah, when Tua says that, man, I should go back 3 or 4 years ago and think what I'm doing now. Hello, this is 2025, man. This is not 2-3 years ago. I mean, right. I don't know, guys, but go ahead and play that because it's funny.
Say what you want to say. Take your time.
Yeah, because I mean, when I saw that, then I saw McDaniel comes and says everything's on me. I'm responsible. It's my job. For real, dude. I mean, come on, man. And I look at Tua. Listen, I believe what Debo said, man. It's a time for a change, okay? And we all be saying this, okay? It's time for a change. Tua is not the same guy, period. The last 2 years. I don't know if the concussion is hurting this guy, because I think it is. I think it's his mindset. He's not in the same rhythm. I mean, he's throwing more interceptions. He's a turnover machine.
He's injured.
He can't throw over 50 yards. He's
damaged goods. He's damaged goods.
Yeah,
mentally, physically, he's damaged.
Going on. Something's going on with this quarterback. Okay, but it's sad to say this. I mean, I was watching the game. I say, what in the world, man? And here's another thing. And before I get to those videos, preparation. What preparation? These teams are not prepared at all, defensively or offensively. There's no game plan coming into these games.
Hey, the first game of the season, which you have 3 months to prepare for, and the Dolphins scored 8 points in that game.
See? That's a good point.
Okay. So you're building up preseason for that first show.
Mm-hmm.
That first show, and you laid a giant egg.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, man. I don't want to hear nothing about him in preparation. The The league has passed McDaniel by ever since the 70 points. The Dolphins have scored 30 points over those last 2.5 seasons,
Mm-hmm.
7 times. So all of those games. So that game took place in week 4 or week 5 of the 2023 season, right? Or 2023 season.
Yeah, 2023.
So you have 12 or 13 games, and then last season 17, so that's 30, and this season with these 7 games. Over the last 37 games, the Dolphins offense with such high-powered talent has scored 30 points only 7 times. The league has caught up with McDaniel, and McDaniel has not made any type of adjustments to counteract the adjustments that the league has made.
Kosa brings up a good question here. It says, do you all actually think that just replacing Tua will make this team immediately more competitive?
No.
I'd like to get everybody's thoughts on this. My first thought is, I don't think it will. I do think that the reason I want to see Ewers play is just because I want to know before the season's over if we have something there, or if we basically, I want to see what we have in him. That's it. I don't necessarily think that we're going to be better by replacing Tua. I really don't. Those of you that are in here, thank you for joining. Make sure you guys throw a like down. If you're new, subscribe. And let's see, D-Dub, answer this question too, and then we'll move to Jorge and Blake too.
Okay. Do I think that they're going to be better? They might be more balanced because that'll force them to run the ball more, which is something that the offensive line is better at doing. But will that end up in wins, more wins? I don't think so. You may have less QB interceptions, but you'll have even less production offensively because Ewers doesn't have the command of the offense because he's a rookie. Unless he's been burying himself in that playbook, I don't see where wins and losses will be different. Production for the running backs may increase. The wide receivers and tight ends will diminish somewhat, and hopefully that would bring about less QB interceptions. So you may have more 17-13 losses than 31-6 losses. My opinion.
For me, it's what Dirk said. Yeah, it's not really a big difference, but I want to see what a rookie could do. Give him time to, was what, 10 games left? I mean, they play, 7 now? So 10 games left. Let's see what he could show. I mean, how can he develop. Now, here's the bad news. Can he develop with McDaniel? I don't think so, but at least give him a chance opportunity. I can tell you one thing. He has a better arm than Tua. You guys not disagree, but I'm going to tell you, he has a better arm. That pass that he threw on the sideline to Eckridge today, right on the money, Tua can't throw that pass. I'm sorry. And I know it's only one pass, and I know it's the first game. I mean, he goes in, 8 minutes left in the game, but give him time. But I agree with Debo said. I mean, they're going to run the ball more. They're going to take that pressure off the rookie quarterback. But I want to see him develop because you know what? You don't waste your money on a draft pick to bring him in and say, hey, this is not good enough. Because I'm going to tell you, Tua is not the answer.
Well, Tua tried to throw that pass today, and he threw a pick.
Yes, yeah.
He threw that pass and threw a pick today.
He threw a pick, but I mean, Quinn just saw something. I say, okay, he's just a rookie. Then you know what? With the offensive line we have, come on, any quarterback the quarterbacks the Dolphins will be in trouble with this offensive line. Regardless,
the thing is, I hear fans talking about the offensive line doesn't give him time, doesn't protect him well enough. I see teams where the quarterback is scrambling and getting harassed, and the quarterback still manages to make plays on those plays 60% on those types of plays 60% of the time. So
Yep.
I see. Well, and another thing, we don't know just because we saw Ewers on the field in mop-up duty, we don't know if McDaniel is going to bench Tua, which I think would be something that he would, if McDaniel did that, he would be on his way to maybe trying to get the locker room back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
If he's going to do that, there may be some more plays available to the offense because Tua's game is just based on 1, 2, 3, throw the ball, get rid of the ball. There's no off-schedule plays or the longer timed routes are not available unless they're bombs.
Yeah.
Okay. So the deep outs, the deep digs, those type of calls or routes may become more available with Ewers because the fear of getting Tua hurt or injured is not as big with Ewers.
Blake, what do you think, man? What about Tua?
Yeah, I'm done with Tua. You know, he's had his chance. I mean, at one point he did have competent linemen and players around him. And so yeah, I'm ready to move on. It's whatever. I'm tanked for anybody else right now, honestly.
We ain't got to worry about tanking. They quitting. There's a big difference. They're quitting. Yeah. They don't want nothing to do with Tua, and they don't want nothing to do with McDaniel. This is not something that the first line leadership is saying, "Oh, let's tank and let's talk to the owner about it on the down low." No, they've made the decisions on themselves to go 1, 2, 3, Cancun.
Well, all of them making that decision, more than half of them are making the decision knowing that they won't be there next year. They're ready to go.
They should be thinking about putting some good tape on film so that they can make some money in free agency or with their next team. But
all I know is I'm fucking about to lose fantasy this week. I know that.
Oh boy.
No. The fantasy blues.
Oh man,
this is why
Josh Allen's on a bye, and I put in Caleb Williams. This dude got me 4 fucking points. 4 points, and they still won.
Yeah, the Bears did win that game.
4 points from Caleb Williams, dude.
Cliff says this. Cliff says Ross Greer, McNerd, and Weaver are bigger problems than Tua, and I would agree, but the problem is Tua's on the field, and I if I had to make a list, I would say those 4 people, but number 5, I would put Tua right there. You know,
who repeat that list again?
Ross, Greer, McDaniel, and Weaver.
Okay,
they are big problems.
So Ross is not, owners. You're never gonna get rid of owners. The only way you get rid of owners is if they do something like the guy from the Clippers did. So you forget about that. You're not forcing anybody to sell the team.
Well, and if Ross does step down, his daughters are taking over. He's already said that.
So they're not going anywhere. But you need Weaver, McDaniel. Who was the third person?
Greer.
Oh,
I agree with those 3 for sure.
All 3 of them need to go. All 3 of them need to go. And like I said, there's some other people in between Ross and McDaniel and Greer that need to go as well. I mean, if Nat Moore or Dan Marino is whispering in Stephen Ross's ear about players and in situations, they need to go too. I mean, this is time where it's got to be a clean house, and you need to get somebody in there. Get a think tank or a group, a consulting firm that can get you some quality people that know football that can make some decisions.
All right, guys, here we go. We're about to listen to this Tua interview. It's 6 minutes long. So if I feel the need to pause this so we can scream at our TVs for a minute, we can
you're
do
gonna
that.
laugh, buddy.
You
You're gonna
will.
laugh.
Have you guys all seen this?
No, I haven't.
I haven't either. I've been waiting to
I have
react
listened
to this.
to it.
Yes.
Okay, well, let's get into this. Somebody give me a thumbs up. One of you guys that are in here, if you can hear the audio. Okay. Here we go.
Yes, I hear it. Yeah, he just walked up to. He just put his hands on. I heard him put his hands and rattle his fingers.
The game, obviously, everybody saw what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Turnovers, penalties, all the things that
That's Kimbo Camper.
make you lose games.
Yep.
Rear their ugly head.
For sure.
Where do you go from here?
I think you hit it on the head. It starts with me. Can't turn the ball over. Got to get the operation going with the guys, regardless of whatever the situation, circumstance may be. We just got to stick together. That's it. That's how we move forward from this.
It's after a game like this, game like last week, it's easy for everything to go sideways. How do you make sure that a long way to go, about 7 games still to play?
For sure. I would say it's kind of, in a way, similar, but not similar to, I would say, our 21 season, when we went 1-7 to start, and then we were able to turn it around and finish off, I believe, 9-8 or something like that.
No.
But there's always hope, and you just got to find ways to get the guys to stick together and continue to press forward.
They finished 8-9 last year. That should not be a goal.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. To be below 500 is not the goal. And I don't think that season he's talking about, the 2019 season, was he there?
Somebody
No.
can check
No,
the podium what Tua has on the bottom of the podium, the drinking before he got there.
He got drafted in 20, right?
Yeah, 20.
Yeah.
He
20.
said, didn't he just reference 2019?
No, he was talking about last year, where they started at 2-6.
Yeah, but
He
said
said
2019.
1-7. He said 2019.
2019. That's what he said.
Oh,
Yeah,
Look
he
what he
wasn't
said.
even.
Go back.
you're
Yeah,
right.
he wasn't even on the team in 2019.
Go back.
So that they felt like throughout the day, you guys were on 3
Concussion.
Mhm.
line, everybody in the
Yeah.
backfield. Is that how it felt for yourself?
Yeah, I would say just the execution aspect of it for us, speaking offensively. I think that was a big deal with us within the first half, and then kind of trickled its head in the second half as well. And then that's when the turnovers for me started to show up as well. You can't do that, and you can't expect to win games that way too.
Is that the best defense you faced all season?
I would say they're a really good defense, but I think a lot of it was, we shot ourselves in the foot, hurting ourselves with penalties, going out there, the alignment of things. Do we know where we're supposed to be? Are we on the same page with communication to the receivers? Things of that nature. But they're a really good defense. So I can't give that they are the best defense that I've faced or not, but they're a really good defense.
You got the field goal to end the first half, probably collected yourself a little at halftime, then the first play of the second half. What happened?
Yeah, just made a throw. Maybe it was too high for Vaughn. So I got to make a better throw for him to be able to come down with that.
He threw that pass like 4 feet above Devon Achan's head. He's making it sound like it was just a little high. It was,
man.
It was like twice as high as his height. I cannot believe Devon Achan even got a hand on that ball. Good Lord. Okay,
The
sorry,
pause
guys.
space right here is all guilt.
Yeah.
Well, I think guys want to do good every time they're out there, right? Hear the play, they hear the motion, snap points, things like that. And, I think they're just so antsy with all the motions that we got going when they see a guy moving as well. And that's maybe a guy that they have that they want to make sure that they attach them quickly. So I think it has a lot to do with that.
Another big storyline going to the game was
Just told them congratulations, wish them the best of luck, things of that nature, but not much after that.
So you guys, just last week, have come back when facing a big deficit. When that happens, like, what is the catalyst for it? Is it a group of guys who are more vocal, who fired up? Like, is it a big play? Like, what happens that causes this team to snap out of the funk in the dust?
I think it starts with the operation, being able to operate quick, knowing where guys are going to be, understanding that aspect of it, and then playing fast from there. I think that's what jump starts that whole deal.
And as for the end of the game where you were pulled, was that a decision that you and Mike kind of agreed on? Was that all his decision, and kind of what was the feelings there?
Yeah, that was just Headball's decision. He made that decision. So.
Any reason why you can't get the operation mid-season?
It's coming now.
Okay.
It's coming. I was going to tell him, watch.
Hang on 1 second. Cosa Nostra says Omar Kelly jinxed Tua. His interception have come in bunches after Omar made that comment. Dude, I think that needs to be a question on one of Tua's interviews. Omar needs to follow up. He needs to be like, do you still think that your interceptions don't come in bunches?
Wow, man.
Okay, back to it. Sorry.
Anything you can put your finger on?
I think it's tough to just put my finger on one thing when it comes to the operation. Yeah, we just got to be better with that.
Do you feel like you knew where guys were going to be like games? In that first half, there's some balls where, like the Waddle, I think you run the stop, you throw the corner. Like, it looked like there were some plays where you were expecting A and got B. I just did that spill over.
Spill over to the second half. I would say not as much as it did in the first half. It was more so just the operation of guys going where they need to be out of the huddle, things like that. And then we're down on the clock, so having to work through that and maneuver that and not waste our timeouts.
How do you evaluate yourself and where you're at and to get to where you want to be at this point in the season?
Yeah, definitely not happy, not proud of where I'm at with my play, with how I've gone about things this year. I know I got to be a lot better, and I've been better for the Miami Dolphins years past, but this isn't years past. This is this year, right? And just trying to maneuver everything and trying to build a collection of guys to kind of bring along with me, and I got to be able to multitask if that makes sense. Be able to do that.
It's over for
while
two.
doing that, kind of continue to get
They don't want him as the leadership or the quarterback
for
anymore.
myself to get going again and get in that flow. Thank you.
Ooh,
What is the year prior has to do with
It's a
this
wrap.
year?
He's
he
defeated.
wanted to get
It's a wrap.
out of there.
I mean, he's
Yeah.
out of it. I mean, forget what I mean, what kind of comment is that? What happened last year? What happened 2 years ago? I had to get. Are you kidding me? This is 2025, dude. If you don't know your play calling and you don't know how to play football, get the hell out. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Why is there a communication problem with the wide receivers now? You've had all preseason, and he's making excuses. He always makes excuses. He always pushes the responsibility to somebody else. He doesn't want to hold himself accountable or responsible for anything that goes wrong with the offense, with the team.
Man,
I'm sorry about that. I had to take a call.
You good?
That's
I'm
why
afraid to watch this Mike McDaniel one now.
Oh man, what you hear? Oh my gosh. Besides, you're gonna hear him go, duh. Well, you know how he does.
Wait a minute. I had this system where I can get channels from Florida. So I was watching his weekly show today, right?
Yeah.
It's so much he doesn't look anybody in the eye. He's looking down at Kimbo Camp. Kimbo Camp is looking at him and he's looking down at the ground. I'm like, this guy. This
post game, you can see and hear it in his voice more than all the other post games.
He knows the inevitable is coming.
Feeling it.
Yep.
He's feeling it.
Yeah, I the last interview they did with Mike McDaniel, he looked pretty morose, and I'd imagine. Well, let's just get into it and,
Oh,
and
you're
see
gonna
how
laugh.
let's have some fun. Here we go. Oh, starts out. He
Oh
looks.
man,
Oh man, look at that.
Look
the
at that.
Giants are losing.
Soaking
Yeah.
fucking wet.
Mhm.
Yes, dude.
Oh
Yes.
wow, wow! How did this happen, man?
MC Lotto, I don't know if you're saying this the way I think you're saying it, but he says, "What 3 interceptions?" And I'm imagining this as Tua in the podium being like, "What do you mean I threw 3 interceptions? When did that happen?" Need to get that boy in concussion protocol again for sure.
Oh my goodness,
All right.
man! That was sad, man. That was a sad press conference.
Here we
Oh,
go.
all right.
Let's do it. Here we go.
What can you say about this game? It's been
Yeah.
uncoordinated. I mean,
No, I think he did everything to lose the game. I think you saw a lot of frustrated players, from the season, allow it to seep into our play and keep us from executing. So the list goes on. You, -4 or 100 yards and 11 penalties. 2 formulas that generally will equal immediate loss regardless of what you do. So, I think a game like this, I think we didn't see coming in terms of our prep. But you absolutely, with 100% certainty, have to evaluate everything. I think it goes for, no person or no player or no coach is got their hands clean, and we have to go back to work and starting with me, do a better job. We have a NFL opponent and game next week.
Yeah, you do. You have another NFL game to play. You're absolutely right, Mike. What are you gonna do?
Well, I'll let you know in a few minutes.
He said that nobody is clear of blame, right? He said
Yeah.
that. So if no one is clear of the blame, something needs to happen. You need to do something, right? I mean, that's logical. So if that's the case, and Mike McDaniel recognizes this, regardless of our thoughts that Mike McDaniel needs to go, regardless of that, if he's the coach right now, he needs to take responsibility and do something to change it, which means bench somebody, cut somebody, do something to change this. I don't care how small it is. Someone needs to take a step and do something. Strap
He is.
on a pair,
He can't though.
stick your hands in your pants and physically find your testicles.
He sounds like a coach that has no control
Good grief.
over anything besides the shitty play calling during the game.
Jeez. Okay, sorry guys. I had to yell for a second.
That we have a lot of work to do in this meantime. This was a step
It
back
gets worse.
for how we play football. I thought we had growth, and generally growth without results is a good thing for your team. In this case,
What?
It was not good enough. And
Growth without results is a good thing for your team?
Oh, buddy.
What in the world is this man talking
I
about?
told you it gets better,
I
bro.
tell you, yeah, you're right.
What does that even mean? If what?
Hey, just like my great grandmama used to say, "Go get me that switch."
Yeah, dude. Are you kidding me? Growth without results is a good thing for the team? No, it's not. That means you didn't grow. That means you didn't do anything. That's oh my goodness. Okay. All right.
Continue. It's going to get better.
Okay. We're a minute and 39 seconds into this, and I'm already having an aneurysm. Oh, okay, here we go.
you can go on any tangent and be half, at least partially right, regardless of what angle you take when you get beat like that.
every week you watch tapes, you get better on watching tapes, doing this, going to practice, and it's kind of been a stretch here where it really hasn't paid off. How do you get it to pay off as soon as next week? Because it's
Yeah, no, three losses in this league in a row are always take its toll. You honestly get to see across the board, the people that you're working with, and we're professionals that need to do our jobs better. So you don't hold anything back. You're very clear in front of the team. The tape never lies. We'll have probably 20 plays that are self-inflicted wounds, and you can't even get on to beating the opponent if you beat yourself. So that's where it is, and we have a long work week ahead of us that we need to make very impactful, and I think the locker room knows that.
You said frustrated players. Is that as the game goes on, or is that?
I felt. I mean,
Yeah, hang on a second. There's one thing I did want to say. There are two players that I saw during that game that should have been frustrated with what happened to them. Two players. Number one, Rasul Douglas, when he got that pick and it got called back because of a BS penalty that had nothing to do with the interception. Rasul Douglas should be upset at a bad result. The other player is Jalen Phillips when he got penalized for roughing the passer when he did absolutely nothing. Literally touched Dylan Gabriel with two fingers. You can see it in the replay. And Dylan Gabriel fell over and they threw a flag. Other than that.
Well, I'll tell you this. At least he touched the quarterback this time.
Yes, you're so right.
That's growth. That's growth without results.
Dude, D-Dub, where you been all my life, man? You're killing me. I love this. Okay. All right, here we go. Let's get back into this.
You guys have been frustrated with the season and believe in each other a lot more than our record indicates. So, I just felt like emotional overreactions early in the first half while being very competitive. But, I think there was 4 drives sustained by penalties defensively, and I could feel that building up. And then you come out the gate the second half, and you have a fumble on special teams, and then a 1-play pick six. The guys were frustrated throughout the game. And I thought it didn't help us. It made us worse. There was late hits on 2 occasions, personal fouls. That isn't, we haven't majored in that. So we found a different way to kind of undo our game. And there's a lot of guys that will have an important work week because we're not. I mean, if you are negatively affecting the football team routinely, I don't have a choice but to, assess a different player. And
oh, really? Wait, you guys heard it. He said it.
Well, I hope he's talking about Tua. He better be talking about Tua.
Yeah, you're right.
Dude, he just said it. So I'll be expecting Tua to be benched, and I'll expect Zach Wilson or Quinn Ewers to start next week. I'm going to go ahead and expect that. That's pretty much exactly what he just said, because there's only a few players that have routinely and regularly let this team down. Furthermore, I'm also expecting Larry Borum to be fired from the team. No, actually, I expect Larry Borum to be left in Cleveland. Just cut him and make him walk home. Be like, no, sorry, dude, this plane isn't for you. There's a Greyhound down the road. Go ahead and hop on that. By the way, find a new team to play with. That is by far, I'm sorry, I got to go on my Larry Borum diversion here. Larry Borum is the worst offensive lineman in the history of the NFL. By far. I have never seen an offensive lineman as trash as Larry Borum is. Regularly, consistently, and perennially. He should have never been on this team, and I would have been more satisfied with moving a tight end to that position and have him play. Okay, I'm done. Sorry. I don't like Larry Borum.
And I have to coach
Jeez.
a lot better as well. So
You're right, you do.
We're going to find out who and what we're made of.
What will your conversation be with Tua after this game?
It'll be tape driven. So I'll take a look at the tape. But before watching the tape, I don't want to over conclude anything. I think but like you turn the ball over. It's the number one indicator of wins and losses, and it negatively affects the team. I think there's multiple factors in those turnovers, but I know at least.
No. There was not multiple factors in those turnovers. The only factor in those turnovers was Tua Tagovailoa throwing bad balls. That's it. These are not the turnovers that you can look at and go, well, this happened, and well, it kind of wasn't his fault. Like, Jalen Waddle kind of just bobbled that and handed it to the guy next to him. It wasn't like that. These were horrible passes by Tua. Every one of them. Does anybody here think differently?
No, I agree with you 100%.
Right. Anybody in the chat, does anybody think any of the interceptions by Tua today were anybody's fault but Tua's and only Tua's? Go ahead and answer that. Anybody who's got an opinion there. I think they were all Tua's fault 100%. So I don't know what the hell he's talking about.
One to two of them were extremely preventable from Tua, and he knows that he was it just wasn't good enough. So we'll watch the tape and change our style of play if we have to. We'll do everything's on the table. When you go to a game, you fully know that you have the capability to win and get handed a very, very humbling loss. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Guys need to be professionals. Guys need to step up to the plate. And every person, on our team, if you're saying it's not me, it's you. That's what I told the team. That's what I have to subscribe to, and we will be diligent in our both our cleanup of this game and the opponent for next week, because you're just not going to win games, and our team, we say we want to win games, so we have to do the things necessary to win games. Until that happens, we will lose games.
Holy crap.
Yeah, I mean, I think, a lot of the frustration got in the way of our execution, and that's never going to be acceptable. I did think that specifically in the second half that the defense did not quit in a situation that was pretty difficult, considering receiving the ball after halftime, and then they're on the negative side of the field, and then all of a sudden have a give up 7 more points that they didn't give up. I think there's the effort was there, the execution and the discipline really to play sound football and not take an extra step and still try to hit somebody or be out of position with your feet and hold.
What in the hell is this guy talking about? I mean, okay, all right. First of all, guys, this is getting to be a pretty big stream. Thank you for being here, all of you. All my guests, thank you so much for being in here too as well. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe. If you're not new, make sure you throw the like down. It helps a bunch and get more people in here. Also, Mike McDaniel, what the hell are you talking about? This guy's losing his mind. I don't think he even knows what he's talking about. I think he's drifting in and out of reality here.
I told you he knows it's a wrap, dude. He's stuck. Cat has got his fucking tongue.
Holy crap.
Yeah, it's bad, man. It's bad.
Okay, all right. We're gonna try to get through this. I'm sorry I keep pausing it, guys. This is stupefying.
That all these things amount to.
Oh, hang on, sorry. Go ahead.
I'm probably the oldest person in this panel, and I'm gonna say that the Oompa Loompas on Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory made better sense than what McDaniel is right now. Okay. So, God, the guy does not evoke leadership. He does not evoke confidence. I was in the Army 26 years. I know leadership. I've been led, and
DW, you're cutting out, but I want to say something. You've been you were in the Army for 27 years, so not only do you know leadership, you know what bad leadership looks like as well.
But to make decisions and to make impactful adjustments on the fly, he can't do. When's the last time you saw Mike McDaniel's team win a game, come from behind, being down at the halftime and coming back to win the game without a game-winning situation in 2 minutes left in the game, just to make the physical adjustments or the tactical adjustments to win a game when you're down. He does not know how to motivate. He does not know how to make the tactical decisions to win a football game. Now, he can prepare, in a staff position. Yes, he could do that because he's shown to be able to do that in San Francisco and in Cleveland. But no, he should not be a head coach.
Man,
he should not be a head coach.
Officer Nubs, first of all, I love the name. Second of all, he says, realistically, do we think someone's getting fired this week? Officer Nubs, no, man. I think they should. I think people should be fired, definitely. But do I think it's going to happen? No, I don't think anybody's getting fired. That's the sad part. It's just not looking good. Let's see if we can get through this a little more here.
Losing football games, and that lesson is a tough one, but it will forever stand in the National Football League. That doing things like that is not good enough and will not be good enough. So the way I look at this job is I find it very offensive to all parties involved. If I'm thinking about having the job, I need to be doing my job. So for as long as I coach for the Miami Dolphins in this organization, they'll get everything from me, and I refuse to spend my time thinking about something that you have a job, you do your job, and you do it to the best of your ability, and that's where my concern lies. I think it's offensive to all coaches, players, and the organization if I'm spending that precious time thinking about myself.
Mike, when players are frustrated to the point where it's impacting execution, what can you say to them on the sideline to get that turned around?
Well, I got to do a better job of saying that clearly, because in game we have to find our composure. But realistically, you do hard truths in this league. You are always held accountable for your ultimate performance, and you coach through tape. So I have had nor will have no problem, telling the truth of the tape, and you have to either you accept it and rise to the challenge and correct those things, or you're subject to the same exact types of failures that I know that the guys are tired of. They wanted to win. Okay, they did, and they didn't do it. And it's all of us. So I don't think anybody's spared from accountability. I think we all need to look at the mirror, or in the mirror, and the main thing is teams that go through hardships. You double down on those hardships if you don't stick together. So we have to do better collectively, and I'm looking for guys to lean into the team and not try to displace, not try to feel like, okay, I did all right, it wasn't my fault. No, that's not how it works. We all have to stay together, and we all have to be focused if we wanted to improve.
Final two questions. Coach, you mentioned like the Browns, your defense not giving up, but this Browns offense was beat by a lot. That's the worst in the NFL, and they go out there and do what they did. Is this offense better than what maybe we think they are, or?
Well, I think the National Football League's an ever-evolving process. Each team is going through all sorts of lessons, good or bad. I think they have.
Guys, I don't think I can finish any more with this. Here's the thought, and where is it? Kosa says this defense is last in the league. Kosa, you're right. They are last in the league, but furthermore, they are historically bad. They are one of the worst defenses in the history of the NFL. And we got to come to terms with that. It's not just the Dolphins' history. It's NFL history. They are top 10 worst in the history of the NFL. That's a long, since 1967. That's horrible. And
that's why I was saying that they're Buccaneer-esque.
Yeah.
1976 Buccaneer-esque like. Okay. They're bad. Now, this guy, the assessment he made about, or his answer to the question about whether he's thinking about whether he's going to get fired or not. Okay, that's the first real time that he answered like a human being rather than with all the ums and like and So I give him credit for that. But that's a lie, because nobody can go through what he's going through and not have a single thought about what his immediate future is going to be.
Yeah. Yep. CB, thanks for coming in here, brother. Appreciate it. Says McDaniel isn't the answer. He can manage it when things are good, but you can really see how good a coach is through struggles, and he's been bad. I agree. I think we all agree with you there, CB, for sure. And I do want to give a shout out really quick to TD Finn's talk. And I'll say this: TD and I don't always agree with everything that each other says. Like, we don't. But I will say this: TD was right about a lot of this, 100%.
TD's been done.
Yep, and he I've never once disrespected TD because some of his takes might be a little out there, but TD loves this team, and I know that sometimes on like the AFC East roundtable and stuff, TD kind of gets made fun of sometimes as not knowing ball. TD knows ball, and from what he said, so much of this has proven to be true. So shout out to TD right there. I just want to give that to him. He's always been super nice and kind to me as another content creator. So just wanted to throw that out there to him. Obviously, if you guys haven't subscribed to him, make sure you go check him out. He's a very animated content creator for the Miami Dolphins, and he does a good job, and he's an awesome dude. So CB's right with what he says here. If things do go bad, Mike McDaniel cannot coach this team. He can't. He does not have the ability to adjust, and that's the problem. And he has the ability to, but he chooses not to. For someone who's as smart as he is, he should be able to. I'm sorry, Blake, were you saying something?
No, that was me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I've been saying for a while that he fails to make adjustments, whether they are halftime adjustments or adjustments from game to game. Every defense now knows that 35% of the passes are going to be bubble screens.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't adjusted to that. That was something that was last year, and he's still on that. He hasn't adjusted to that the defenses have made adjustments and focused on the bubble screens. He hasn't made adjustments as to the outside run. Everything with A-Chain is outside runs. So again, they're going to start focusing on that.
Yeah.
And when Gordon comes in the game, it's between the tackles. You need a every down back. I mean, everybody loves A-Chain. I like when he makes those big runs, but you need a running back. Yeah, Ollie Gordon. But you need a running back that you can run inside and outside. And the Dolphins don't have that. Again, they're very predictable with their schemes. They're very predictable with their passing game. And he has not made any adjustments from the point when it was that 70-point game till now. It has been a steady and precipitous decline in offensive production. Now we're at the point where we scored 6 points against the Cleveland Browns.
Yep. And D-Dub, earlier during the live stream during the game, I actually mentioned that about Ollie Gordon and how he came in the game and they gave him the ball and he got a negative -1 yard carry. And I mentioned, I was like, well, you kind of have to expect that because whenever they put Ollie Gordon in the game, they're going to give him the ball. They don't involve him in any of the other plays. So as soon as he comes in, they queue up on him because they know he's going to get the ball. It's so predictable. And it's not just him. It's a lot of different places. CB says, my problem is they chose to do nothing. They saw the offensive line wasn't good enough, and they sat on their hands and did nothing. No moves, no pickups. You're right. They've done nothing. By the way, also, Finn's Take with CB83. You guys need to go check him out, too, on YouTube. Another fantastic content creator. Been doing it pretty much since the beginning. Great guy. Has a good channel, so go check him out as well. This is the bottom line is this is Octane says it year 4 of this coach and Tua, year 4. And this it's not working, right? At what point do they pull the trigger? I think it needs to happen.
You know, Chicago pulled the trigger quickly when they realized that Mitch Trubisky wasn't the guy. They pulled the trigger when they realized that Justin Fields wasn't their guy. Teams make mistakes. The longer you fail to admit that, the worse the mistake becomes.
Yeah. Look at this guy on screen. Look at this guy. Look at Bradley Chubb. This man has been a bright spot for us.
Oh man, he need to go to, man.
I know, but look at his face. This is what I'm talking about. I haven't watched this one either. This is only like a 3 or 4 minute video, so we can watch this in a minute. But
he knows he's getting traded.
Oh yeah, he has to. I mean, he's one of the most expensive players on our team. And in no way am I talking smack about Bradley Chubb because he has been one of the better players on our team. Unfortunately, it's just not enough. And he wants to be somewhere where he's going to have a chance to win, right? I mean, at his age, You know, he wants to, let's listen to him too. I haven't heard him either. Have you guys listened to this one?
Yeah, I have. It's good.
Frame this game, I think it was just penalties, turnovers, anything that could happen went wrong in this game. How do you bounce back or just get in the right direction from here?
Discipline, man. Just everybody being disciplined, owning their role, owning their job, and doing it to the best of their abilities. Like, I feel like, we kind of gave them everything they got today. Kudos to them for capitalizing on everything, but we had them dead to rights a couple times and bailed them out. And that's just come down to the discipline part of it, man. We got to be more disciplined as a team, as a unit, as players individually. And, it's coming. It's coming. Face adversity. It's about how you attack it, and we're going to attack it head on.
You're going to get like 100 yards of penalties. I mean, that should be the easiest thing to get out of your system and do that. But can you do it? It's been plaguing you for a number of games now.
We can do it for sure, and we will do it. Once we turn this thing around, we will do it. We will face it head on and make sure that it's eliminated from our game.
At some point, now you guys are 1-6. It sort of makes it harder to crawl out of the hole, obviously, just mentally, physically, everything. Where are you guys at right now?
We're together, I feel like, right where we need to be together. And, like I said, we face adverse times with each other, and that makes men, that makes champions, that makes warriors, and it's just about how we attack it. It's going to be, I was telling the guys the other night, like, it's going to be easy to find ways and blame people and point a finger, and that's the easy thing to do, but, like, nothing comes from stuff being easy. So we're going to have to dig deep, be hard on each other, hard on ourselves, and figure out what we need to do in order to turn this thing around. Because it can happen. It's possible. It's possible for sure, and it's just about executing and doing it.
Bradley, where was the energy level for you guys today on the sideline, on the field? Did you ever feel like there was a point where maybe you guys collectively said, okay, this is probably a wrap?
The energy was up. That's the thing, man. The energy was up. On defense, we were flying around. We were bumping chests. Like, that's the most energy I felt on that side of the ball all season. Like, AD was flying around. JP was flying around. Jordan Brooks was flying. Like, guys were flying around. T-Dot, like, all these guys were flying around. KG made a lot of good plays, and we were flying around. We had the energy. It's just, we got to eliminate the penalties, because when the penalties come, that's when that's energy sucker. That's vampire. It sucks all the energy out of stuff, because we had the energy, man. It's just about executing and being disciplined.
So, real quick, the only energy that I saw from the defense was the first 3 possessions of the game. Like, good, solid effort. And it was unfortunate those first 3 possessions were marred by a complete lapse in referee judgment. Those first 3 possessions. But after that...
So let me say this.
Sure.
The score was 31-6, right? Okay. So they had a pick 6, right?
Yeah.
So now that's 24 points the defense allowed. And then the special teams put them in a bad position on first to start the second half. So half the field is gone. And then in the first half, they gave up the long run to Judkins for the touchdown. How did they get that 17 that the points that made it from 10 to 3 to 17-3? Does everybody remember how the Cleveland scored that touchdown? They go on a long drive.
No, it wasn't a long drive.
No, it wasn't a long drive.
Yeah.
Okay, so
you want to see a statistics that's incredible. Now I see that Bradley Chubb, and I saw the video, and you can see his frustration. He just don't want to show it, but you see it when he's talking.
Oh, he's mad. He's mad.
Oh, he's mad. He's upset. He says, "Man, I know we're better in this. Get ready with this. If your team has only allowed 206 total yard of offense in team all around, how do you lose that game 31-6?
And see, that's my point, because so many of those points were set up by the offensive failures.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. The defense played well enough to hold.
Yeah.
and control, but 3 turnovers, fumble, the special team fumble that you said. Okay, you put the defense in a position that, hey, man, here we go again. You know what's killing the Miami Dolphins? Look at the time of possession. Miami is last in the league in time of possession. This defense has been more on the field than any other defense in the National Football League. Now, how can you tell me this defense improve? How can this defense get better? It can't.
Well, and see, that's where the makeup of the team is so bad because you were depending on the offense to pick up the defense, and the offense is the segment of the team that, in my opinion, has failed the most. Now, I know we're talking about historic points given up by the defense, but the offense was supposed to be able to score 35 points a game.
Well, they were
When you
averaging
have
27 points.
Tyreek and Waddle and A-Chain and all these offensive weapons, and they have failed miserably because you put so much money on the offensive side of the ball. You don't have a margin for error with anything on this team. The defense doesn't have a margin for error. The offense doesn't have a margin of error by the way they play because they play so safe and on such timing. There's no margin for error. And when there are errors, when there are turnovers, when there are unnecessary roughness penalties, when there are passing of PI and defensive holding, these facets of the team cannot operate like that. They can't. They don't have that margin for error. And then you got special teams again giving up points in one way, shape, or form or another, and field position and time of possession. This team is not good enough to overcome those things, and that's where Chubb is talking about frustration-wise. Right. I'm still frustrated over the fact that they can't get a pass rush. So that's why I say he need to go too.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you at all. Real quick, we've had 40 to 40 something people in here for quite a while now. That's one of the biggest streams I've ever had on my channel. So thank you everybody for being here. While you're here, make sure to throw a like down, get even more people in here. Let's set some kind of record for my tiny little corner of YouTube. So thank you everybody for being here. It sucks that we had to do this on this level of disappointment, and perhaps that's partly why people are here is frustration.
Hey man, we need the therapy. We need to talk it out. We need to talk it out.
Yeah.
And I just want to say, this is an important time for Dolphins fans as a whole. And while there's a lot of pointing and blame going out right now, like I understand, believe me, like we all do. But let me just take this opportunity to encourage the fan base, encourage you guys, everybody here, everybody who's looking at this later on when we're not live. We're all in the same boat. Remember that, please. Remember that this feeling as a fan base, and remember that none of us are in a different boat as a fan than any other fan. We might have different thoughts, different ideas as to why this is happening and what we can do to make it better. But ultimately, we're all in the same boat here. So let's make sure that we as a fan base stay on the same side. Let's not attack each other over this, right? Also, CB in here campaigning for the program. Appreciate that. Thanks, brother. He says this here, and this is a good point. We're a much different team with Tyreek, and we look deflated emotionally and physically without him. It does look that way, and I can't even argue with that. Lo-Fi says bad weather. Tua December. Tua away. Only good Tua was fat Tua. Remember that year when it was plus size Tua and he did great.
Well, that's the year he never got injured. He was
Right.
healthy all the rest of the year.
But this year he's stayed relatively healthy, and he's just not doing it. So I mean, there's a definite disconnect right now.
I still believe he has a problem with the hip. I still believe that.
I think so too, and I think that's, like I said, I'm not offering excuses for Tua, but I think that's what we're seeing with the accuracy. And Tua's never had a great arm, right? He's never been able to sling it downfield very well. But in the past couple years, he was better than he is this year at it. And I don't think it's necessarily all because of Tyreek. I think it's because when you're throwing a deep ball, those of you that have thrown a football, you know that so much power comes from your hips.
Yes.
When you're throwing that ball deep. And I don't think Tua has that this year.
Mhm.
So, like I said, I don't know what to. I'm frustrated. I feel like Bradley Chubb is frustrated too. So, I'd like to hear that Norvell and McDaniel are fired tomorrow. Both my teams, FSU and the Dolphins. Yeah, CB83 is an FSU fan, so RIP in the chat for him.
Oh boy. Hey, I'm a Hurricane fan. Louisville. Come on, Louisville.
Oh man. McD gets fired. This turns into Tua's team, and I don't think the organization can go down that road. I don't either. I don't think that. Here's my thought: if Mike McDaniel gets fired, I don't think Tua stays as the quarterback. I really don't. I don't see that happening.
What head coach is going to come and coach Tua? He's already gotten 2 head coaches fired.
Right.
He's not no head coach is going to come in and deal with Tua.
I think that, yeah, you're right.
McDaniel was the one who was supposed to be the Tua whisperer, and the Tua whisperer gets fired. Oh no. He can't stay. If McDaniel gets fired, Tua's got to go to another franchise, because no head coaches want to come here and deal with that. Would you want to put? It's like you've already caused somebody to get divorced twice, and you're gonna have the brother now come in and deal with that same woman? No, because they already know that the wife is crazy. No,
Right.
Nobody's gonna want to deal with that.
You're right.
Nobody of credit or cachet, coaching cachet.
Yeah.
And then why would you want to waste a year, your first year as a head coach with the team? Why would you want to waste your first year trying to figure out something that's already been figured out? That Tua's not the guy. He's not an alpha dog leader for a team.
Yeah.
No.
And that's kind of why I feel the way I do about Quinn Ewers. Now, I want to give my thoughts on him just really quick, because some people are like, why do you want Quinn Ewers to start? Do you think it's going to be better? No, I don't necessarily think it's going to be better, but here's my thoughts on Quinn Ewers. Number one, Quinn Ewers has certain characteristics that Tua does not. And it's not necessarily the arm. I know he has a better arm than Tua, but what I like about Quinn Ewers is his attitude and his mentality for leadership. Quinn Ewers has that edge that I think would benefit this team. Maybe not necessarily right away, but that's why I think we need to put him in, especially with the way the season is going right now. I think it's a pretty much guilt-free thing to do, and it would give us an idea as to what we have there with him at quarterback. So that's why I think it would be good to have him in.
Well, at the very least, you take a shot at maybe getting a Brock Purdy situation, and both with his talent to see if he's got the talent to do it, and the salary cap. Because if you go away from Tua and eat that contract, you're gonna need some relief somewhere. And Quentin Ewers' contract, because it's a 7th-round draft pick, provides you that relief, at least for the next 2 to 3 years.
Definitely.
But I don't think that is gonna happen. But I'll be pulling for him. I mean, if I could disagree with drafting Tua and still pull for Tua because he's part of the franchise, at least I can do that for Quentin Ewers. Give him a chance, root for him to see if he's going to be the guy or not.
Right. That's a wise thing to say. Yeah, I think you're right there. Octane Genius says Eichenberg's the same player. My one thing about Eichenberg is better than 2 of our starters right now on offensive line.
You ain't lying.
If we had Eichenberg, I think this offensive line would be a million times better right away.
That's a sad indictment of the offensive line.
Isn't it sad?
Because he needs to go to I mean,
Right.
Greer has not picked most of his offensive linemen that he's picked have been trash. Austin Jackson,
Yep.
Eichenberg, and gave up additional assets to move up to pick him. The same
Right.
thing they did with Hunter Long. Gave up extra assets. That's why this team is in the situation it's in. And then you gave up on Robert Hunt and what was the other guard?
James Daniels.
No, not Daniels. It was another guy.
Oh, a draft pick.
A draft pick.
Thompson.
No,
Larry
it wasn't Thompson. No. He was an
Larry
offensive
Thompson?
lineman. It was they got drafted together. Hunt and
Hunt and this guy. I know you're talking about.
he was drafted in the 5th round.
Williams.
They gave up on them two and
Connor Williams?
got these bums.
Yeah, it was
And then you
Connor
draft
Williams.
Sabanea, and he's not playing the position that he played in college.
Oh, see,
I mean,
that's a coaching issue.
You know,
That's a coaching thing.
that's coaching, and that's you got to get the writing. Stop trying to move people out of their comfort position
Yeah.
and draft people for where they comfortable playing. Stop this mess. I mean,
He'll be back. He kind of drifts in and out sometimes.
Yeah.
Vamos, what's up, man? Thanks for being in here. Guys, by the way, I am almost to 350 subscribers. Please, if you're new and you haven't subscribed, give me that one extra sub and let's get me to 350. That's my goal. This has been a crazy stream. Got a lot of people in here, a lot of upset Dolphins fans. I'm happy you guys are here, but I'm sad that it's in this type of situation, you guys.
You see, this team need really there is a spark, a spark from somewhere. If it's Quinn Ewers or whoever it is, I mean, we need a spark, something that's just to light us up and say, hey, this is the guy. He might not be the guy, the franchise guy, but who knows? Who actually knows? We need a spark. I mean, we still loyal. We still believe in our, but the fan base is getting to a point that, man, this is getting bad. And we got to be honest, it is bad.
Yeah. It is.
Sorry, gentlemen, I had a phone call.
You're good, brother. You're good.
But
this is a good point. Look at this. Tyler Warren was the obvious guy to draft. Instead, we reached for Grant. I'll admit that I was wrong about the draft picks. When we got Jonah and Kenneth Grant, I was very happy. I thought that they were good moves, and I was wrong.
Well, didn't Grant get a sack today?
No,
Grant got a sack today. No, he got one today too. Yeah,
nice.
Yeah, he had. Good. Yeah, got either half and half. I know he was in the middle of a sack.
We're not having the quite the impact that we thought they would have.
Yeah.
And, I'm not saying they're trash. Jonah actually had a better game today too. I'll give him that.
Yeah, Jonah did.
He had a couple fantastic blocks to spring Achane for a couple runs, but
listen, Miles Garrett had his first sack with Tua. His first sack.
Which is why I say they should run the ball more, because at least these five guys, their best asset is their run blocking, not their pass blocking.
Yeah.
This is something that's going to make sense, okay? When Tua was drafted, watch this, and we knew this, and Dirk could say this, and you could say this too, because we know this. Concussion protocol, hip surgery, coming into the NFL. Why did Chris Grier not took the opportunity to build the offensive line right there and then? What he did? He went defense. He didn't win offense. Okay, and now
he did both. He did both because he drafted that following year. He drafted Jalen Phillips and Jaden Waddle.
No, I'm talking about offensive line to protect Tua. I don't need the receivers. I'm talking about to protect Tua.
But I'm just saying he did draft offense and defense that year, and the year before. See, now if you want to nitpick over Austin Jackson being drafted, instead of Cesar Ruiz or
Okay, look at Larry Thompson, right? We get Larry Thompson. They say he's not good. He gets traded. He goes to Houston. He gives the rookie their quarterback in Houston a great season. The moment he got traded, look at Houston now. Look at the Texans. Look at that quarterback. Look at the difference. This is what I'm trying to say. You trade players. They come to the year. Oh, he's not good enough. Let's trade him. We don't need. He's not a good offensive tackle. And then Thompson goes to Houston. And golly, I cannot believe how this quarterback had great back-to-back season, took the team back-to-back playoffs. And what the Houston did, the moment they trade Tunsil, look at Houston now. They're not the same team. That's the guy that's protecting your quarterback. Listen, I love Teron Armstead. I know he was here for a while. But, man, that guy was always injured. And that was Tua protection. Okay? Now you bring in Jonah. All right? A rookie. You can't blame the rookie. Young guy. You can't blame him. Oh, his first year. He's going to have those rookie thing. Now, I seen the way that he positioned himself, and you said something that's real interesting. That is not his position. Why do you play him there? That's why they struggle.
And Cosa Nostra just made a great comment here, a little nugget of wisdom. Most of Greer's high picks are suspect, if not all of them were blaming the kids instead of the parents who raised them.
Wow.
All of his picks, all of those picks, the only one that has really shown, you look at the first and second round draft picks that they've had. The only one who has done what he was potentially supposed to draft was Waddle.
Yep.
Because Tua has failed. Austin Jackson failed. Noah Igbenogany failed.
Yep.
Okay. Jalen Phillips failing. Okay. Hunter Long failed. So all these high draft picks, I mean, I go back to crying over the fact that
So while we're waiting,
I know how to.
Is he there?
Yeah, he's going back in and out.
Okay.
Of the Dolphins draft picks.
Yeah, and so here's where we're at, and we have this. We're at the middle of the season essentially. So what we could do is it's simple. We can't fire everyone, right? I mean, that's what we want, but it's never going to happen. I mean, the title of this is fire everyone, but I think a good step in the right direction and something that would make immediate difference would just be to fire Chris Grier to start. Just do that right now. Just start there. If we did that, get somebody in here, let the new GM evaluate all these players, all these coaching staff, everything else, and let him adjust as necessary throughout this season. I mean, let's face it, at this point, this season is not going to be successful. The only thing that could make it a success is to make some changes, right? Yep. So what we could do is begin to cleanse. Dude, Kosa just said it. Cleanse, sanitize, start at the top. Yep. It doesn't make any sense trying to put the fire out by spraying it 20 feet from the base of the fire. Start with Chris Grier. Get him out of here. Maybe let Mike McDaniel go too. But first and foremost, get rid of Chris Grier. Start there and move on.
Well, see, that's my first one, Dirk. It's Chris Grier. You got to go because if you take McDaniel away, you still got the other guy. It's going to be the same thing. Here comes a new head coach, and he's going to say, "Wait a minute, I got trash here." No, it needs to get. I mean, please put Dan Marino, like you said, give Dan Marino the GM job.
Yeah,
I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, it starts from the top, from the big guy. I mean, if he's going to keep him and fire McDaniel tomorrow, I'll be honest with you, it'll be the same thing. I don't see no difference.
Yeah, Cliff brings this up too. He's not wrong either. We forgot about the trade of the second round and a fourth round for one season of Josh Rosen. That's true.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I forgot about that one.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, there's been a lot of faux pas by Chris Grier. And I think we can all agree that that's the logical first step is to fire him. And there's only one person that can do that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There's only one guy, and that's Stephen Ross. So let this be an appeal from the fan base of the Miami Dolphins, all of us, to Stephen Ross. He needs to be peppered with this statement, fire Greer. It needs to be all over everywhere. Hashtag that crap up, guys. Everyone. Fire Greer, fire Greer, fire Greer. I think that's the start. Yeah, you're not wrong. Greer played his cards right. He signed everyone to rich, long contracts and ensured his survival. Yeah, don't forget about Cam Smith. That's another one. Yep.
Don't forget about Cleo Lemons. Remember that?
Yeah. That was one of his first ones, wasn't it, Cleo Lemon?
Yep.
Or wait, was that Greer?
Yeah, I think it was Cleo Lemon. Yeah, I think it was. Yeah.
Cliff
Listen,
says,
since Dan Marino
Greer's been here for about 10, 15 years, so
yeah, just 9 as the GM, right?
You know.
8 or 9. Man.
you know.
Yeah,
But he's been a part of the whole problem.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's exactly right.
Okay. He's been involved with Tannehill. He was here when Tannehill was here. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he's been a part of at least almost 2 decades of playoff failure. So no, it's time for him to go.
Yeah.
His drafting has been suspect, to say the least, and the few draft picks that has some value, he didn't want to keep, i.e. Robert Hunt, i.e. Andrew Van Ginkel. I mean, man, Christian Wilkins. I mean, you gotta call it the way it is, man. He's let some players go that the Dolphins home grew, and because he didn't manage, him and his financial salary cap guy didn't manage the salary cap right, they allowed those players to leave.
I believe the moment that he extended all these contracts to Ramsey, to Tyreek, to all these players, that's the worst. Even to McDaniel. Even why you extend all these contracts? This was ruined the Miami Dolphins completely. Now look at now.
Things need to change.
Yeah.
So that's what I've been saying.
You're right. D-Dub, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on here, man. As somebody who's just joined the channel and stuff, thank you so much for being here. Jorge, as always, thank you for coming in and hanging out with me.
Thank you,
everybody else who came in, we're coming up on 2 hours, ladies and gentlemen. I've got to get out of here and get back to family life. But this has been an amazing stream, and like I said, even though with all this stuff going on, I just wanted to thank you guys for being here, and I hope that even with this going on, you guys can all have yourselves a wonderful rest of your weekend. Enjoy your Sunday night. Hopefully on Monday we'll see some news that involves something changing for the Miami Dolphins.
Amen.
Well, you got the Falcons or the 49ers tonight?
49ers.
I'm taking the Falcons just because I want to see some craziness. But likely 49ers, but I'm going to root for the Falcons in this one.
I'm going to root for the Falcons because I still hold a grudge against the 49ers for beating Dan Marino.
Hey, that was Joe Montana, guy. That was Joe Montana.
That's proper. Everybody, thank you so much for being here. Make sure you throw a like down if you haven't already. If you're new, make sure to subscribe. I won't let you down like our team does. I know it's hard, but try to stay hopeful if you can. Thanks for being here, and we'll talk to you guys later. Fins up.
Gentlemen, have a good night. Stay safe.
You too. Thank you so much. Have a blessed one.